Hey lovelies, you're welcome back again to my channel, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you a very simple method on how to cut a ruffle dress for kids. So if this looks like what you want to learn, let's get right into the video. Here are the few things I'll be needing for this course. You need your veil nets, a soft net or whatever nets you want to use, and then the material. This is a stock material, and then you also need the measurements of the person that you're making for. You just need the shoulder, the bust measurements, and the gown length. So this is all you need for this making this dress. So the first thing, I'm going to be folding my fabric. Just watch the angle I'm folding from. I'm just folding it in a triangular form. All right, I'm not folding it in a straight way like you want to cut your regular dress. So I'm folding it in a triangular form, just like this, because I want to have a particular shape at the down parts of this dress. All right, go ahead and draft your regular bodice measurements. You take your shoulder, confirm the length of the dress you're making, take your armhole curve it out together just like this. I have other videos on how to cut a regular bodice just like this, so I don't want this video to be too long. I'll be attaching my previous video on how to cut a regular bodice right here, so you can go back and just watch how you can do this. This is a freehand cutting. You can see it's very simple. I'm not drafting on any pattern paper whatsoever. So now I'm confirming the bust measurements just like this. Remember, to get your armhole curve, you have to divide the person's bust by 4 inches and then subtract 2 inches. This is for a kid, so you have to subtract like 2 inches from the bust measurements. For the neckline, I'm using 2.5 by a depth of 3 inches. You can make yours 3.5 depending on how deep you want it to be. So just go ahead and do what works for you. So go ahead and just cut this out the way you have structured it. So at the end, this is what you're going to have when you open it. So you can see this is just your normal way of cutting a dress. So the next thing, I'll go ahead and cut the back piece. I'll be using this front and place on a folded fabric and just cut the back. You all know how to cut the back of a normal dress. So like I said earlier, my previous video on how to cut a dress explains everything in details. The only difference for this back is that the zipper allowance and the neckline is different. So I left a zipper allowance of about 1.5 inches, and the neckline, the width is the same thing, but the depth is just 1 inch for the back. So that is the only difference. Every other thing is the same thing with the front. So you can see my front neckline, and this is my back neckline. The armhole and the bodice are all the same thing. So we are done cutting out the front and the back piece. So after that, I'll just go ahead and show you how I cut out my baby collar. You all know what a baby collar is, and this is how I'm going to cut it. I folded another plain fabric, a very small fabric, and then I will just get the structure of the neckline for the front and also the shoulder area. So just go ahead and watch how I am doing it. First of all, I want to cut out the neckline and the shoulder. Make sure you leave about half an inch. All right, let it not be exactly equal with the front. So I left about half an inch before I started cutting. So guys, I'm just using a measurement of 3.5. From the neckline, I'm going to be channeling a circle. I'll be making it in form of a circle, and I'll connect it all the way to the shoulder area, or rather to the armhole area. So this is what I have, and just go ahead and open up the middle parts. Make sure you use a chalk to draft out the way you want the top baby collar to look like, so that you will see what you are going to cut before you cut it out. So go ahead and watch the way I am cutting this out and the way I made the middle front to look like. So that is how your baby collar is. I might not explain this very well verbally, but guys, I'm very sure if you watch closely, you would understand how it is done. So you see that middle part now, I'm going to be notching it, yeah, because it's going to be closed up. So I'm cutting another piece, like it's going to be double. So I'm cutting another piece to make it 4. And this is what you want to have after you are done cutting your baby collar. You're going to have something like this. So you can rewind it and see how the shape is. And let me just place it on top of this front so you'll see how it is going to look like. So I'm sure you're seeing it now. You're seeing the pattern and you're seeing how the shape of the baby collar looks like. So guys, moving forward now, let us now cut out the ruffles. This is the net I'm going to be using. It's a very soft net, so I'm going to be gathering the tip like so before cutting, so that I'll have an equal length each of them. So you want to make sure you gather the top like so, and then you go ahead and start cutting out the measurements that you want. So you know how you want your ruffles to be, you know how the length is going to look like. So I think I used about 3 inches or 3.5 for the ruffle sizes that I cut out. So I cut out as many that I need depending on how many steps of ruffles that you want to make. So now go ahead and cut them out equally, just like this. So this is how your ruffles are going to be lined up like this. You take it to your machine and just go ahead and start pleating or tilting or however you want to do it. So just go ahead and form your styles, form your designs, and just be creative. So you're going to be creating as many steps as you want or as your veil net can accommodate. I have a video, a very detailed video on how to make that ruffle, so I'll just attach it here so you can see. Next thing I am doing is to cut out my facing for both front and back. All right, you know this is a sleeveless, it's not going to have a sleeve, so you want to cut out the neckline and also the armhole area. So make sure that whatever facing you're cutting is going to accommodate both the neckline and the armhole, just like you're seeing me doing right now. So I have cut out a very short facing for this. I'm going to use as my lining to turn over to the back. Guys, the next piece I'm cutting is what I'll be using for the bow tie. So I'm going to be designing this with a bow tie, and I have a folded piece of 8 inches by 6 inches here. This is the big one. Then I'm going to be topping it with another smaller bow tie of about 6 by 5 inches. So this is how your bow tie is going to just look like. So this is just a way of adding a little finishing to the dress, and this is going to be the belts for the dropping. So just leave all this aside and let's now go into sewing the baby collar. So guys, now you want to place your baby collar like this. Use one pin to overlap another, like a lining and the main fabric. So take it to your machine and just follow my fingers the way I am drafting it out, and then just sew it all the way. After sewing it, this is what you're going to have. All right, so go ahead and notch it all around so that by the time you open it, it's going to lap very well. So by the time you're done, that's how it's going to look like. Make sure you iron it when you're done. So you want to notch the middle of your fronts, and then you want to carefully and neatly place your baby collar right on top. All right, make sure you're placing it in the middle like this. So just watch how I am doing it. Now you want to use the facing that you just cut out, place it on top of the baby collar, and then go to your machine and sew all around. So guys, pardon me, I totally forgot that the back was not really a zipper. All right, that allowance I left was going to be for the button. It's going to be having a half button, so I've made a loop like so. So go ahead and make a tiny rope of about half an inch. Just make it in form of a rope that you're going to curve into a loop. So place it in between your main fabric and your facing, and then you will sew it together. All right, when you sew it, it's going to be coming out to the front. So your loop, your buttonhole loops is going to be on one side of the back, while your button, you'll be fixing your button on the other side. So by the time you sew it and you pop it out, this is how it is going to look like. So here is the front piece. I'm done turning, I'm done ironing it. You can see how neatly placed the baby collar is. So this is how your own is supposed to be. Now I'm going ahead to chalk out the lines I'm going to be following for my ruffles. So you want to do this so that you may not be able to see my chalk lines, but it's very clear to me. So just use your chalk, or and you want to make it very light. Okay, don't make it too obvious, so that it's not going to give you a dirty job. So you take it to your machine and just follow that line that you ruled out and start making your ruffles. So that line is going to help you to make it straight and equal. Do the same thing also for the back piece. So I'm done making my ruffles in 3 steps. So here is what I have, like so. So guys, you can see how beautiful this is. You can see how very neatly placed this is. Here is my back piece. I also closed up the back, the part that the button is not going to appear to the down, and I did my 3-step ruffles. You guys, at this point, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please take out a moment and just click on the subscribe button. Make sure you like this video and drop us a comment down below. So now go ahead and close up your dress the normal way. Close up the shoulders and then take the measurements and close up the sides using the accurate measurements. You can add allowances if you want it to be free. Yeah, so now this is what we have after closing up, and this is our ruffle dress. Fix your buttons right here. If you don't want to use the buttons, you can still go ahead and fix your zip. Okay, any which way is fine. I've also gone ahead to make my bow tie. If you want to know how I made this bow tie, you can just leave it in the comments and I'll say it. So place this whichever way you want it. You can put it in the middle, by the side of the dress, at the upper parts, or the down. Anywhere you want to place it is okay. I'll just leave mine at the middle of the dress. So you guys, we are done with this very simple tutorial on how to make a ruffles dress. Tell me you'll be trying this. You can make this in so many copies and sell them. So thank you so much guys for watching, and make sure you stick around for my next video. Bye.